everyone, welcome back to another week of rotations video. We are now week number 17 in the series that started since the beginning of the year, showing you everything I've worn all through the week from Sunday through Saturday, day or night. And some things are niche, some things are designer, but most of the things are trying to keep as cheapies because that is what this channel is about and what I enjoy collecting and wearing. Except one caveat this week, as you'll see in the title, is that this week was full of nothing but samples, namely all from one particular house. You've heard me talk about them before, and for those of you who are privy into the fragrance world, and especially those in independent or niche houses, and the house that these are from is Imaginary Authors. You've heard me talk about them before. I bought a lot of samples from them, but I have another haul of samples trying to get my way through completing all the samples and smelling all the offerings that they have and just make my way through, because one day I may eventually buy some full-size bottles. But they're a very unique house if you haven't already known about them. Their artistic direction is, taking things from very well-known classic novels or narratives and taking little excerpts or little parts of the stories and making a fragrance based off of how, they interpret the story, how it makes them feel, or even just places that those stories take place in, or that, they want to have a certain kind of experience and just make you be in that moment. Basically, it's very nice and very imaginative, very synesthetic in a way, and they have very unique styles and chords and things they use, and very, very niche stuff. It's really, really cool. Really enjoy it. It's very, very unique, and it really plays into my imagination as well. I love these kind of unique things, and some of the things have actually been very nostalgic to me, make me smell and re-experience some things back from my childhood that I enjoyed and thought I'd forgotten about. So really, really cool. But if you don't want to hear me talk about samples all through this video, if you're not here for that, then you can go ahead and leave. But for those of you who want to hear what I have to say about this house and probably pique your interest about a few things, then you can go ahead and stay and go right along through this with me. But starting on the first one, it was last Sunday, which was Easter Sunday. For those of you who are right along with my channel, who know me well enough by now, know that I am a churchgoer and that I obviously celebrated Easter Sunday at my church with my church family and friends. And we had a very unique service where it was a lot earlier. It was also a shorter service, so I got to enjoy the rest of the day with family and friends and eating and hanging out and things like that. But I think this one fit absolutely perfect. I've already had a sample of this and went through it and had to reorder another sample because I enjoyed it so much. It is one of the more classic, well-known ones from their house, almost like the poster child of the company. But it is this one here called Fox in the Flower Bed. I first heard about this one in Fragrantica Talks with the three, I forgot their names, but I really love listening to them. Almost like a podcast. They interview and talk to each other about different fragrances and certain topics. And they had a podcast one called, Summer Fragrances That Aren't Citrus-Based. And this was one of the top ones and first ones they talked about, and it piqued my interest, especially how they talked about it. And this isn't very citric based on the front. It isn't very citrusy. There's a little bit of a sweetness that you could almost think is fruity citrus, but it's not really. What you're going to get with this one, as the name says, Fox in the Flower Bed, is a lot of florals, all kinds, mainly yellow florals, which a lot of people don't like yellow florals because it gives them almost like, like a garden vibe, or honeysuckles, or, like almost like funeral flowers kind of vibes. But this one does not give me any of that. White, yellow, and even some other colored florals are all in this one, but it's very clean, very soapy, very easy to wear, very musky, a tad bit sweet in there. It is an absolutely joy to wear. I consider this one of the best, yes, the best florals I've ever smelled and probably will ever own, because I'm definitely gonna have to get a full bottle of this one. Performance of this one actually isn't as bad as you'd think it would be for a floral freshie. I was outside and it was very hot, did a lot of work, but it actually lasted with me pretty well. Easily like 5 hours or so, which is good for what I was doing, with a medium to loud projection for that first hour of the fragrance, and then it dried down, very intimate. But this is one that I would not mind respraying on over and over. It would be perfect for office wear, perfect for casual, perfect for formal. It's very classy as well. Perfectly unisex. I know some people might say that florals are, more feminine, more for perfumes. And that's what I first thought at first. But recently, I've been gotten to where I really, really enjoy floral fragrances. I even made a video about it a couple weeks ago on the 5 florals that you can wear, which I highly suggest you go watch, especially if you want to expand your fragrance game a little bit and wear things a little more out there, and probably expand, your range of what you want to wear. And some things you might not even know that you enjoy until you try it out. And that's the same thing with this one here. If you want to expand your fragrance knowledge and, kind of experience, starting off with florals is a good way to go, especially if you're a guy, because it's kind of the, oh, it's taboo. It's definitely not taboo, and definitely would upgrade your fragrance game to a whole nother level. And this is a good one, I'd say, to start with, because it's one of the best florals, easiest, very clean. It's just a joy and treat to wear. Again, I'm definitely gonna get a full bottle of this one eventually, despite the pricing, because it is really good, super high quality, absolutely amazing. Again, one of the best florals I've ever smelled, but it's this one here, Fox in the Flower Bed. Really recommend it. That next day, on that Monday, the first work day of the week, I wore one that I actually revisited. I've talked about this one before as wearing it. I think an older Week Rotations one, but it's one that they're actually talking about discontinuing, so I'm glad that I have a sample of it and was able to wear it before they kicked it off. But it is this one here called Telegramma. This is very much one that will fit more in the spring and fall seasons, maybe not in winter, maybe not in summertime as well, because what you get in this one is a heavy dose of lavender, which I didn't get at first, but the second time I've worn it, I definitely got it, a lot more of the floral, powdery aspects of lavender. And another thing that's in this is a talc powder, Corey. You know what talc powder is? I think it's T-A-U-L-K, is the kind of powder that athletes and, gymnasts and Olympists will put on their hands, or even like, weightlifters put on their hands to give them better grip whenever they're, lifting or swinging, doing things like that. It gives it a very kind of chalky aspect to it, which is weird to say with a fragrance, but it's very unique. It also has a little bit of a sweet kind of ambery, almost piercing, caramelized kind of thing to it, but it's not a note that's in there. And actually what this is meant to smell like is Telegramma, which is like the dried ink off of paper, which and to me gives it like a freshly dried ink on copy paper. Like if you print out a bunch of things from a copier and you smell that paper, that kind of hot but sweet alcohol dissipation that's on that, or like if you rub alcohol like on your glasses or something plastic, that sweet kind of evaporated smell, that's exactly what you get with this, which is super, super unique. Like I said, they have a lot of unique things in this. So what you get with this is, man, like I said, powdery floral lavender with a little bit of a sweet kind of ambery caramelized aspect, which is supposed to be like that dried ink. But yeah, really, really neat, very interesting. Not the best performer, it dried off very quickly, but it left a nice little ambery, powdery aspect to it. Very unique. I mean, again, this is being discontinued, so you might not have much of a chance to try it out, but if you do, highly recommend it. Very, very, very different. And didn't wear anything that Monday night, so we're going to the next day, which was that Tuesday work day. It's one that I got in more of the summer-oriented haul, which is the most recent sample haul I got from them. It's one that is very unique, very different. Not sure how to feel about this one. Probably have to get another wear just so I really know what to say, but it's one, like I said, more summer-oriented, very oceanic. It's called Every Storm a Serenade. There's actually two different versions of this. There's an older version and then a reformulated one they did. I think this is part of the reformulated one. But what this one smells like is a very oceanic, aquatic, like sea breeze kind of smell. Very similar to an aspect of like Megara or Megamare by Orto Parisi, things like Chaos in the Ocean or Lattafa's Atlas, even like Centrunk's Anquion. All of them have a similar aspect to this, except this doesn't really have as much funk as Megamare or even things like Secretia's Magnifique, which has that very, almost funky kind of muskiness to it. But it does have a little bit of that oceanic funk to it, but it's way more just a fresh, watery, almost aromatic kind of style, a little bit of a sea breeze, sea salt kind of aspect to it. Very, very light, airy, uplifting. Not really any citrus in this, not really any fruits or anything like that. It's just pure oceanic vibes. So really cool, a lot more wearable than Anquion by Scent Trunk, which I have, which smells like an unwashed water bottle. Very much more wearable, but it's, like I said, a little bit of that funky muskiness in there. So not really sure what to think about this one. Not probably one I'm gonna get a full bottle of, but still very interesting nonetheless. Not the best performer on this one. I had to actually spray it on again midday when I went back from my lunch break, but still very interesting. Glad I got to experience it. Perfect for spring, summer, hot weather, out on the beach. Very much fits that kind of vibe, really good. Then that nighttime has some other stuff I had to do after work and decided to wear one I haven't worn in quite a while. And despite the name, this is actually something you can wear easily in the daytime, especially spring, summer, and fall. It is by Abercrombie & Fitch. It is called Away Tonight. This is a very, very interesting fragrance, and I love the bottles. I mean, they lock, very, very satisfying, like a tactile experience, but very, very interesting. This has strong, strong similarities, especially in the opening to things like Terre d'Hermès, very much a flinty, mineralic, orange citric pop on the top, but as it dries down, it's like a mixture of Terre d'Hermès and Encre Noir by Lalique. Yes, Encre Noir, more of a fresh, almost summery take on that. Not exactly like Encre Noir Sport, still like Encre Noir, like a dark, deep vetiver sharing with Terre d'Hermès kind of style. Basically like a Frankenstein between Terre d'Hermès and Encre Noir, mixed with a little bit of a designer-esque take of Abercrombie & Fitch. Very interesting, very, very unique. Like I said, it says away tonight. I think it works very well as a nighttime fragrance for spring and summer, but I think because of the profile, it fits very well in the daytime as well and works even good in the fall time, like the warm going in the colder season. But again, very unique, very different. I mean, not gonna be the most appealing and probably top seller from Abercrombie & Fitch, more for fragrance lovers, especially those who are looking for something that's very different and under the radar. This is definitely it. And as far as performance with this one, I mean, it was pretty average. Lasted me about like maybe 5 to 6 hours with a medium to intimate projection, but still really good, really enjoyable. If you happen to find this for a good price, I definitely recommend trying it out, especially if the sound of that kind of profile sounds interesting to you. Definitely recommend it. That Wednesday, going back to more samples from imaginary authors, this is one that is another one that a lot of people talk about from their house. It has 2 different versions, and I think this one I got is the reformulation, re-release of this, but it is called, where's the name of it? The Soft Lime. The Soft Lime. This is a very, very unique fragrance. Very unique, and the reason is because this has an accord in it which is supposed to smell like tennis balls, because it's meant to be based around the experience of you're in late Victorian era playing tennis, you know, on the soft green that they have out there, and you smell the rubberized tennis balls as they get hot in the sun and on the rackets, just filling the air, along with the spring season, the florals around, aromatics and the green grass, all of that. Very much just a very involved experience. And the top note that you get on this is that tennis ball rubber smell. Like if you smell a fresh can of tennis balls, it's exactly what you get. Very potent, very, very strong. Not gonna be for everybody and might even turn most people off on the first second of smelling it. But what you get quickly after that is a lot of green aromatics, almost like a tea kind of thing, very fresh, little light, like almost musky, wet, moist kind of smell, but in a good way. Not really that much sweetness, it's fairly dry. To me, it had strong similarities to Carolina Herrera's 212 Men, which I think is starting to be discontinued now, by rumor at least, but I did happen to get a bottle of it. Absolutely love it. It's a 90s release, but still works good. It very much smells like that, but with a rubberized tennis ball accord added to it. Very close to it, actually. It's very unique. Actually really like it. A lot of people draw similarities with this and Green Irish Tweed too, but I think it's way off from that. It doesn't have the violet in that, it doesn't have the lemon verbena, none of that. No strong citrus in this as well. Mainly just a lot of green aromatics and a rubberized tennis ball smell. So if that sounds nice to you or interesting enough to try it out, I definitely recommend it. It's like a kind of almost like a party thing, you know. I don't know anyone who would probably wear this as a signature unless you're really involved in that, or unless you play tennis on the regular, then that might fit right along with your schedule and things that you do and your personality. But really unique, very different. Like I said, it's something that is going to be more of a party trick kind of fragrance. And performance with this one was actually pretty good. I mean, it lasts like 5 to 6 hours, which is pretty average for most of these imaginary authors ones with a medium projection. That rubber smell though was pretty loud. I'm just glad it dried down a good bit before I went into work. Otherwise, people would be asking me if I was changing tires or something. But yeah, very interesting, very unique. Definitely recommend it if you want something different to smell and try out. Then that nighttime, of course, Wednesday night is my usual church service. I decided to wear one that I've really been enjoying and loving a lot lately. It's very, controversial and divisive. Some people say online this meant to be a clone of this. Some people think it's an original. Some people either really don't like it. Some people really like it. I'm part of the crowd that thinks that it's actually more of an original and that really like it. Really been enjoying it. It is by Lattafa and it is Assad Zanzibar. This one I think fits very well in the spring, summer, and fall time. I don't think it's just tropical. I think it has a little more versatility in the seasons than just the warmer weather because of what it all has in it. It's a very vanillic forward, iris forward, powdery coconut. Has a good bit of like a warm, subdued woodiness in there as well. Very like tonic and very creamy. And I actually have a very nostalgic experience with this one because when I was a kid, if I didn't feel good or if I couldn't sleep that well, my mother would make me something that was called warm milk, or we called it warm milk. It was just microwave milk with a little bit of vanilla extract in it, and it would just put me to sleep and really calm me down. And that very much has a strong similarity to this one because of that warm steamed milk with that good sweet vanilla take in there. It's very Very, very nice. I really love this one. Like I said, got some compliments on this as well while I was wearing it, hugging some people, shaking hands, things like that. And very, very nice. It's a very good performer as well. I mean, I smelled this on my clothes like 2 days after, especially on my undershirt. I mean, really, really stuck to it. It was on my skin. Even the next morning when I woke up, I could smell it on me. It dries down being very warm, keeps that powdery, milky aspect to it and that sweet factor. It's absolutely wonderful. I don't think it's just tropical because it does have a coconut kind of aspect to it, which I think is actually coconut water, but it isn't just tropical. Like I said, that vanilla and that iris, which is very noticeable, especially if you spray a good bit up, that iris just punches you in the nose, being very forward. I think it does lend itself to even in the cooler seasons, especially spring and fall. Absolutely love this one. I think it's a good risk that La Tapa took doing something like this. A lot of people say it's similar to Le Beau or Le Beau Parfum, but I think it's a good offshoot from those, being somewhat similar, like almost like a very faded reflection of that, but also being their own thing. Really like it, very underrated. Absolutely think that everyone should get this one if you want a good powdery vanilla cream fragrance that works in the summertime and also is versatile for the cooler months before and after that. Really, really enjoy this one. And that Thursday, had to go to a doctor's appointment early that morning before I went into work, and again wearing another one from Imaginary Authors that actually started picking up momentum as the week went on to ones that I actually was enjoying more and more. This is one that fits perfect for the springtime. I just wish it was a little better performer, but it's another one that I think is like a classic from their house. It is called Saint Julep. This is one that is very, very sweet on the top. I think there's actually a sugar note in here. It gets into some booziness. Of course, it is julep, so you expect it to be like a mint julep, which is also what you get. You get mint and you get a whiskey note in here, adding a little bit of boozy sweetness along with that sugar. It's almost a similar kind of way the sugary aspects of CHMN come into play, but not as piercing green as that fragrance. This is actually more of a subdued, smooth greenness in here. There is a lot of aromatics. There's actually, I know, mint, and there's some other kind of yellow florals in here as well, but you don't get a whole lot of that. Mainly what you get is a sweet greenness and that ambery, warm, boozy note in here. It's also a little dry as well. Not really a whole lot of lift, not a little bit of muskiness, but not really any aquatic kind of factor to it. It's very much just a, like I said, mint julep kind of aspect. Very, very unique, very, very different. Not a good performer. I mean, it was fairly loud for that first like 30 minutes and it dried down pretty quick, but stayed very subtle on my skin for, I think, like the 3-4 hours I was out before I went into work. Then I applied it again before I went back into work, and it lasted me again another 3 hours or so, but still really enjoyable. Again, the atomizers on these things are kind of hard to gauge how it is because you don't get a whole lot on your skin. You have to spray like 3 or 4 times to get the usual amount you would get. So maybe from their actual bottles and atomizers, you get a better dispersal and delivery on your skin, but still, even with how it is now, not gonna be the best performer, but it still is an enjoyable experience. I mean, I don't have a whole lot left in this, so I'm probably gonna spray it up while chilling at the house one day. Still very enjoyable if you want something that is just a quick out, go out and run around, come back. But still, overall, it's very enjoyable, very unique fragrance. When you talk about a fragrance that's supposed to smell like a green, boozy fragrance, a mint julep in a fragrance. So yeah, very unique, very different, but very, very nice. Then that Friday, the last work day of the week, is also starting to get warmer as the week went on, and this one fit absolutely perfect for the warmer day, and this is probably one that's going to be a perfect summertime one. Again, as the week went on, it seemed like the samples got better and better, more and more enjoyable. This is another one from them I think is kind of a newer release, if I'm not mistaken. It's one that is very, very nice though. It is called Falling Into the Sea, and you would think that Falling Into the Sea would be just as aquatic, oceanic, and like sea funkiness, just like Every Storm a Serenade, but it's actually not. It's actually a very fruity forward fragrance all the way through with a dominant forward note of lychee, which is almost like an Asian style of peach. Very, very unique. It leans, I think, a little more because of the sweet fruitiness, a lot of citrus in this as well, sweet citrus that's in this, a little bit feminine, but I think it stays very well unisex. I would love to have a full bottle of this as well. I was enjoying this the whole time I was wearing it. It does have a little bit of an oceanic breeze kind of thing to it, very aquatic, musky, ozonic, but it keeps a sweet fruitiness all the way through it. Very light too, very uplifting, very bright. It was absolutely a joy and treat to wear. Really, really nice. It also has a unique sand note or sand accord in here, which I think adds a little bit of just a dry, very, very subdued earthiness and a little bit of a dampness in there as well. It also had a pretty good performance as well, way better than the other ones I wore earlier in the week. Easy, like almost 6+ hours with a medium projection. I kept getting whiffs of this all through the day and was absolutely loving it. Really, really nice. I mean, again, imagine ocean breeze in your face and you have like a good fruit bowl or like a lychee kind of ice cream flavor and you're just eating on, you smell wafts of it in the air. Just absolutely wonderful. And when I first sprayed it on and as I was wearing it, I just kept thinking to myself, this has way more of like designer sensibility to it. It almost smelled like this would be like a kind of light blue flanker, like another one that Dolce & Gabbana put out either for men or women, that it very much has that kind of style to it. That's more mass appealing, more easy to understand, easy to wear than all the other ones I wore through the week. More of a designer niche, if you could say like that, like a niche fragrance that is like a bump up of a designer style. Really, really good. If you want one of the quicker recommendations of what you should immediately sample from the house, besides Fox and Flower Bed, it would definitely be this one, especially for the spring and summertime. Then that nighttime, Friday night, of course, the usual, me and my wife going out getting groceries, except my parents actually came over and kept our baby just for us to be able to go out together and have a time by ourselves, and decided to wear one that I haven't worn in a good while. Surprised I haven't broken out earlier when the springtime hit, as soon as the warmer weather started coming in, but it's one that I really want to get another bottle of because I'm running through this one pretty quick, way quicker than I expected. But it is by Mont Blanc and it is Star Walker, the original Star Walker. Very much a mid-2000s kind of style with that kind of musk that it has in it, but very citric on the top, very much a dry but green woodiness. Has a unique note of bamboo in here. Like I said, a little bit of a watery, musky, aquatic factor in here. Very, very good though. This is also one that a lot of people say they like to wear before they go to bed, before they relax, because it has a very calming factor to it. And I do see that, especially when I first got the fragrance, I sprayed it on a good bit before I went to sleep. And I gotta say, it did help me a good bit. I think it has a lot of similarities to things like Versace's Manteau Fraîche, but I think that was a lot more fruity than this, but it does have a little bit of a same style about it. This is a quintessential cheapie that if you're making a collection for just cheapies, you have to have this in there. This is like one of the Mount Rushmores of cheapies, especially early day cheapies that you need to pick up. If you see this out and about, especially at a rack store, I know they're probably cheaper online, definitely pick it up, put it in your cart just as a good extra, because I think these things go for like $15 to $19 now for I think a size maybe a little bigger than this one, if not this one here, which is still worth it. Really, really good. Absolutely love it. One that I will continue to wear. Like I said, I want to get a extra bottle of this just in case it ever gets discontinued or hard to get, or just because I run out of this one sooner than later. But yeah, really love this one. Performance of this also was not bad. Smelled it well after I got home, especially on the back of my neck. So easily lasted like 5 to 6 hours with a medium projection, and it has a very nice sillage to it. But yeah, highly recommend this one. Absolutely love it. It will always be a staple in my collection. Then the last day, which is today, the last day of the days when I wore these samples from Imaginary Authors. And again, it seemed like every day I wore it, I kept getting ones that were better and better, more of my style, more things that I would enjoy wearing, and this one is no exception. Absolutely love it. One that is like the quintessential at the beach kind of smell. It is one I think that's actually fairly recent from them as well, and it is called Sun Drunk. And as you can guess, Sun Drunk is one that you meant to be getting drunk in the sun with, or that you, after you drink up all the sun rays, probably not the first one, but after you're laying there, you're going to the beach, you're going to be drinking up all the sun rays and you're just enjoying the summer vibes. This is one that's going to complement that perfectly. It is a very out of headache, musky forward fragrance with a lot of fruitiness that just lifts off of it, especially like orange and citruses. It gave me a good bit of like a orange creamsicle kind of vibe, like dreamsicle kind of style with it, with almost a sweet, lightly creamy kind of citrus in there. But again, a lot of aldehydes in this, very uplifting, musky, almost effervescent style citrus. Very similar to, I think I talked about Eternity for Men, but Eternity Cologne, the cologne flanker, how that one was very out of headache soapy. This had a lot of similarities to that one, the same kind of style, but a lot more citric fruity than that, and not really aromatic like that one was. But this, absolutely fan-flippin-tastic. Kept smelling it all while me and my wife and baby were out doing some other things, running some errands, getting things I need to get, that I'm meaning to get for the past few weeks, and also some things that I'm getting for a coming up video, which you'll see in a little bit. But yeah, really, really good. Love this one. Another one that I will get a full-size bottle of for my wife and I to share, because I let her smell this one and she really, really liked it. Again, I think this is actually perfectly unisex, but it might lean slightly feminine, but I think guys who are confident enough and who want to try out this kind of style will be able to pull this off and enjoy it just the same. But yeah, really good. And like I said, performance of this one lasted me, I mean, we were out going around the sun for a good bit, getting hot, getting cold, and I could smell it even a little bit after I got home. So easily like 5 to 6 hours with a medium projection, not bad. And like I said, maybe the full-size bottles will have a better delivery of the fragrance on your skin. So it may have better dispersal and better application. So, but still, really, really good. Really enjoyed this one. Again, it seemed like every day I wore it, the samples just got better and better and better and more toward my style, especially toward the end of the week. But really, I think this was the climax of the sample journey through the week. It was just like the best one for last, the one that would fit way better in my style and things I think other people would enjoy as well. But yeah, absolutely love this one and really can't wait to wear this even more and use up this sample in the weeks to come. But there you go, guys, my sample journey of imaginary authors, more of their warm weather and summer, spring oriented fragrances all through this week. Again, it seemed like every day the wearability just got better and better, and the ones that appealed more to me just got more and more. But if any of these that I could recommend to any of you out there, if you want to go on and buy some of their samples, whether it be individual or just putting them in part of their, I think they're custom sample packs where you can pick like 8 of them that you want to order, I would definitely recommend Fox in the Flower Bed, Falling into the Sea, and Sun Drunk, especially for the spring summer season. Really love those, really, really good. Maybe even St. Julep as well, if you want something more of that minty, boozy kind of style. But yeah, really nice. Love these, very unique house. And the first order I had from them was more of their cold weather oriented ones that I didn't get to wear this past fall and winter time. So as we in summertime and get more into the cold weather this year, I'm gonna try to break those out, and then I'll probably let y'all know how those are. But again, these are more of a niche independent house. They're not gonna be cheapies unless you order the samples, which is why I'm ordering the samples and wearing them this week, because that is considered a cheaper alternative and kind of route to go through. But I highly, highly recommend this house. Really love it, especially if you want more of the artistic, creative side of perfumery. But again, guys, that's all that I've worn through the week. Any of these that I've worn or any of these I've talked about, including the ones that weren't samples that you enjoy or that piqued your interest, let me know in the comments below what you think. And if there are fragrances that you want to recommend to me that are like this, more of the artistic, creative side of perfumery, whether it be cheapies or not, that you think I should sample or maybe even blind buy, let me know in the comments below. Maybe one day I can hopefully save up or go out and hunt them down and get them and let you know what I think about them as well. And as usual, if you enjoyed this video, or at least for those of you who did enjoy going along with me talking about all these samples here, please consider giving the video a like and a thumbs up. Let me know that you did enjoy it and that I should keep making videos just like this one, regardless of the subject matter or what kind of fragrances I talk about, just to talk about fragrances in general. And if you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, but you did enjoy what you see here or what you see elsewhere on the channel, I encourage you to please consider supporting the channel by subscribing and even hitting that notification bell so you can see other videos that are like this one and better that I have working on. And I'd love to have you ride along with me on this cheap fragrance journey. And hey, maybe I can even help you discover something new along the way. And as usual, guys, that's all I have for today's video. Again, thank you for being here and for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. And as usual, I will see all of you again on the next video on Friday. Be blessed.